College football season has already started, and we are just days away from the NFL kickoff. The return of football means the return of big money flowing into sports betting. Contessa Brewer joins us now with more. It is a fun time of year.
I mean, this is gambling's biggest season of the year, when they can win more customers than ever, when more gambling is bet than ever. $30 billion, the expectation for what Americans will wager this NFL season through legal licensed sportsbooks. That's according to the American Gaming Association. The problem here is that the unlicensed operators are gargantuan competition. And new this morning, the LA County attorney is accusing more than 20 companies of illegal gambling operations, including Evolution, which is publicly traded. This is the first time we have seen a government official filing a civil enforcement action against online sweeps casinos. And this one is a doozy with stiff financial penalties. The sweeps operators are doing such a big business in the U.S. right now that Light & Wonder reported the competitive headwind as material this month in its earnings call. It expects to delist from the NASDAQ in November and be listed solely in Australia. 50 attorneys general wrote a letter to the Justice Department earlier this month asking for a crackdown against unlicensed gambling because states are losing an estimated $4 billion in tax revenue. GeoComply looked at the states that take enforcement actions against unlicensed sportsbooks. The licensed operators gain 10% more growth in active players year on year on average, and 39% more new account signups when those states take enforcement action. So when we're looking at football and how much money there is to be wagered, the legal sports books are only getting a small slice of it.
Those numbers you're pointing to, which are really striking, of unlicensed gambling, is that always been roughly that size for decades? Or as gambling's been licensed, has unlicensed grown? So
the interesting part of this is it's worth about they estimate about $400 billion of U.S. money gets wagered in offshore unlicensed sports books. So that dwarfs what the licensed sports books make. The question is, has it always been that way? Because before the sports books were all licensed, we didn't really know. Or has the rush and the popularity of sports gambling as companies have gotten licensed then open the door? In Texas and California, there's still no legal sports betting.
What's the argument if you're in a state where it's legalized to do it offshore? Taxes or something like that?
No. Where it's legalized, it might be that if you're a sharp, they will let you on, and there's no limits for it, that it's what you've always done, that there's better promotions for it. The licensed sports books will say, yeah, but there's not the same sort of consumer protections. And by the way, you've got predictions getting into the game as well. Kalshi, Robinhood, Crypto.com, Polymarket, and the NFL is not at all happy about that and thinks there's some threat to the integrity of the game because they don't follow the same sort of restrictions that licensed sports books do.
Yeah, patrolling it seems like it's getting just increasingly complex. Contessa, thank you.
Sure.